And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the Korean Starcraft League, the KSL week number 19. I'm, of course, your host, ZvP, and with me, I'm joined by the one, the beautiful, the plushies. as always for a lot of these casts. But yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome. Hope you've all had a great day. Hope you've all had a great week as well. As right here with something a little bit different with a replay cast. For those wondering, this event was held a couple of days ago over the weekend on Sunday, a couple of days ago, and unfortunately we usually cast it live, but this week we were not able to. We weren't able to cast it live, weren't able to cover it. We were unfortunately busy with other casts instead. Just too much StarCraft. Over the last weekend, it was the Africa Champions Cup qualifiers. The Africa Champions Cup qualifiers, we were casting them not on Twitch, we were casting them on Africa. So a different platform. If you didn't see us live, that's why. Was on a different platform entirely. But we had a lot of fun. Had some amazing games, actually. Some amazing games in the Africa Cup qualifiers, the Africa Champions Cup qualifiers, sorry. But because of that, we weren't able to cast the KSL. Thankfully, we did get our hands on the replays. Of course, if you want to support the KSL, !KSL in the chat, you can become a patron and you can get the replays of the KSL via the Patreon if you're interested in, or if you want to support the Korean scene. They got you covered there. So yeah, we do have the replays. Unfortunately, yeah, a little unfortunate. The reason why we were a little bit late coming live is I was trying to fix an issue that I didn't realize we had. So for the semis and the finals, we have the map order. For a lot of the other earlier rounds that we're going to be casting, like the round of 16, the quarterfinals, the round of 16 and the quarterfinals, we don't have the map order. So things could get a little bit weird. Things can get a little bit messy, just because don't really know which map is match 1, which map is map 2, which map is match 3 in these best of 3s and best of, I guess the best of 5s will be fine because we know those, but for the best of 3s I don't, and I don't really know how to fix that other than like checking the replays ahead of time, and I don't want to spoil myself, you know. I don't want to, you know, ruin like an outcome of a game like that. I like to go in fresh. I like to go in, you know, experiencing everything for the first time, like I'm sure many of you will. So yeah, I guess the other option is I could have had someone else vet them ahead of time, but it's too late for that. it's too late for that, Bob. It's too late for that. So we're going in blind, and as a result, some of these earlier rounds may be a little bit messy, just because if they go all the way to the ace match and we cast the first 2 games and we already have one person winning both games, and it's like, oh well, there's still a third game. So because of that, it could get a little bit messy, but regardless, we're going to go through this. We're going to experience this all together. Oh boy, here we go. Our first matchup is going to be the King of the Sea, MeomaikA himself, going up against Nice. Always do love to showcase and really flaunt the skill of our sea boys whenever I can. So of course I have to jump on the King of the Sea. MeomaikA himself have to be there. And I haven't been able to cast as much of him as I would have liked. We have put GPO, Grand Potable Soul Open, on a hiatus for a couple of weeks because of all these events like Home Story Cup and Africa Champions Cup. So I haven't been able to cast MeomaikA recently. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how he's able to perform here against a player like Nice. I would say that they're both comparable in skill. Nice, of course, best player in Taiwan. MeomaikA, the best player in Southeast Asia. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Here we go. We're diving into game number 1. Numero uno. Ooh. As a reminder, KSL Week 20 is going to be this Saturday, and that will be casted here live. Will be live. As we are diving into this morning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Altitude, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player, the last King of the Sea, flaunting his crown. It is MeomaikA. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Altitude, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Nice. Don't you love it when the players don't use their actual names in game? Oh, it's so good. Hold on. I will attempt to fix that. Bam! There we go. There's Mio, and we have our red player. Bam! Nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Ooh, as MeomaikA is going to be going for a pull first, which is trademark MeomaikA. He typically goes pull first every single matchup, except maybe ZvZ. ZvZ, I have seen him go hatch first, especially against players like GoGoJoy, for example, other aggressive Zerg players that he's very familiar with. But for the time being, there's going to be a pull first into a hatchery. MeomaikA, he just likes to play things really safe. He is happy to put himself at an economic deficit early on in favor of surviving against cheese, against a proxy, against a cannon rush, anything of that nature. So he has access to faster lings. He has access to a faster queen as well in case Nice was being aggressive. Likewise, it also allows MeomaikA to be a little bit more assertive as well. With this first ling, he can go across the map. He can force a reaction and force a wall off, or force a first zealot to be made as well. I believe on altitude you can chrono out the first adept though in time for those lings, so don't think we're going to be able to at least do that here in this game. As we're just droning, ooh, we have very fast Evo chamber here from MeomaikA. This is going to be interesting. So the reason for this timing on this Evo chamber is you can actually research +1 melee first, and then with your second 100 gas you get link speed, and it actually lines up pretty well for a +1 link speed timing. So very aggressive here from MeomaikA. The probe is coming back in for a scout. MeomaikA does get in position to deny it. The probe will eventually go down, but ooh, 1 second too late. Nice does scout that Evo chamber. He knows about the fast +1 melee. That's the only thing it could be. Fast +1 carapace or +1 range is not a thing. It's not really a thing here in this matchup, so Nice, he has the information he needs, and we'll see how he reacts. We'll see how he responds. As of course it is being prioritized and researched first. Meanwhile, across the map, the Overlord is going to be checking the wall, is going to be confirming the standard opener for the time being. MeomaikA hasn't seen the tech yet, and it is going to be a Stargate. So a Stargate opening here from Nice. With this, he can get into Oracle play, and Oracle's going to be amazing defensively as well against Massling. Speaking of, there is link speed as well. Third base is about to be taken by MeomaikA. The Adept has arrived, and oh, it looks like the third will not be delayed. MeomaikA is able to squeeze on past in time. Oh, one ling will go down, but Nice is able to escape in time. Ooh, actually going for a Void Ray first. I like this choice. The Void Ray isn't just going to hunt down Overlords, but unlike an Oracle, a Void Ray doesn't rely on energy to actually attack. So against a Ling Flood, I do think a Void Ray is more consistent when it comes to its damage output, of course, and its defensive capability. So yeah, it does make sense here for the Void Ray first to come out from Nice. Is going to be hunting down that first Overlord. Meanwhile, as these upgrades are about to finish up, I wonder if MeomaikA is going to commit. He will not, so I really appreciate this. Something to bear in mind, MeomaikA, he knows he got scouted. He knows that the Adept made it in far enough to see this Evo chamber, so he is already transitioning. He's already got his lair on the way. He's taking additional gases. With 3 gases, this is looking like fast Hydras. This is looking like a Hydrogen from MeomaikA. I'm sure that if he didn't get scouted, he would have committed here into being aggressive with his lings, and he still has a decent amount of lings, don't get me wrong. But because he knows that the jig is up and he knows that he's been caught out, it's like he's already working on the next step. Lings are moving out across the map. We have 14 more lings on the way. Behind those 14 lings, we are droning and saturating these gases for those Hydras. Meanwhile, the Void Ray and the Oracle are zooming across the map. This third base is looking a little bit exposed. Nice didn't leave anything back at home to defend, and the lings are going to get here in time before the shield battery finishes. Void Ray wreaking havoc at the third base. Oracle looking to dive into the main. The lings continue to flood on forward. With +1 melee, they should be able to make short work of the Adepts. Oh, but yeah, the shield battery is actually going to be able to finish up. Yeah, the lings, they don't deny the third base. This is disastrous for MeomaikA. He invested so much into these lings, and he hasn't accomplished anything with them yet. Meanwhile, that third base is very under threat. Drones are going down here at the natural base. There's that Hydra that we were talking about. So again, it was going to be Ling Hydra. MeomaikA really wants to at least deny that third. Void Ray is going to be recalled back home. Lings doing what they can. More Lings coming out to reinforce. MeomaikA is really putting himself into a really awkward position where if he doesn't deny, or if he doesn't do any damage with this, whether it's killing the third base or pushing into the natural, yeah, he may as well be dead. Do have the Lings heading towards that third base once again. They're going to get us around, but we have a shield battery. We have an overcharge as well. Nice still hasn't popped it, by the way. There we go. We have the overcharge. We have a force field to reduce the surface area on the shield battery, and it looks like Nice will hold. Behind this, the Hydras are coming out. The Oracles are going to spot this. They see the Hydra researching. They see the Hydras themselves. They even get 5 more drones. Oof. Good start here for Meo. He's down to 34 workers. He is going all in with Lings and with Hydras. He's attempting to force the issue. Boy. As he is being pushed away here by Nice once again. I mean, as MeomaikA is going all in, Nice, what does he have at home to defend? He has 2 more shield batteries, so 3 shield batteries here at the third base. He has only 1 at the natural, so and he will lose his Void Ray as well, so Nice slipping up a little bit. I do think his natural is looking that much more vulnerable, but there we go. We have a second shield battery on the way. We have a Bay already done, and we have we have disruptors in production for Nice. Third base is under threat. MeomaikA wants to try to force a fight outside of range of those shield batteries. But the force fields are looking good. Because it's Ling Hydra, we don't have any Ravagers to help deal with these force fields. As MeomaikA has isolated the third base, and he's going to get a kill. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. MeomaikA is droning up. He's producing workers as the attack is going on. First Nova is going to be going off. Good connection, taking down 3 Hydras. But we are running out of energy. We're running out of force fields. Uh-oh. There's not enough energy for any more force fields. We get us surrounded as well. We're locking down the Immortals. Mia's doing it. He takes down another Immortal. He's gonna back off, but again, Nice. He's just a little bit too cavalier, too overzealous with this army, pushing on forward out of range of his defenses. Ay, ay, ay. MeomaikA gets across the map with these Oracles, just getting an eye on the drone count, or even maybe finding a kill on this Queen. Now, MeomaikA isn't out of the woods yet. He was able to at least saturate his natural base, but he can't take control of his third base. Oh god, that's going to be a kill on the hatchery. Up! Oh my god. The hatchery does go down. MeomaikA is still very much so all in. He's going to try and reclaim control of that third base. He's working on +2 melee. He's still amassing Lings and Hydras. Nice back at home. Now, even though he lost his base, and even though he lost a couple of high-tech units, he's retained his disruptors. His disruptor count has been actually looking pretty good. He's up to 3 disruptors. And if he's able to get the Colossi out in time as well, like, this is still a very technical army. Good force fields. A lot of Lings are going to get shaved off from the side of MeomaikA. But again, once we get these Colossi out, we're gonna have so much splash damage. That's a problem with Ling Hydra. Ling Hydra is like it's like a glass cannon. A lot of DPS in this army, but it's also very fragile. And things like Colossus, Storm as well, Archons, they can do very well against this kind of army. Okay, the first Colossi has arrived. We have another coming up behind this. I'm not too sure about the Phoenixes. I'd prefer us focus on a gateway army. We only have 4 gates right now, so we can only warp in 4 units at a time. We don't have a lot to help, like, buffer and support this ground army. Here we go. MeomaikA has arrived at the new fresh third base. He's pushing on forward. Good hold position. Nova goes up. Oh, does connect with the Hydras. Now, MeomaikA, with +2 melee, that hold position move killed 10 probes. That's how much DPS he has in this army. In like a couple of seconds, he almost annihilated the entire mineral line. MeomaikA reestablishing this third base, actually getting it saturated as well. Working on a 4th. MeomaikA, he is actually getting into a longer game. He has a decent economy. And with this economy, I would hope that MeomaikA would tech towards Vipers. Vipers are really what he needs if he wants to go toe-to-toe with his army, and eventually Lurkers. I think I would prioritize Vipers first, and then the Lurkers, not the other way around, just because of the utility that Vipers do provide you. I mean, either or could work. Instead, Mio's going a different direction entirely. He's going for a Spire. which I guess also makes sense. It does make sense based on how technical this army is. We have Colossus, we have Disruptors. These things don't shoot up. We don't have High Templar, we don't have Storm. Blink did just finish for Nice, but Meo doesn't know that. He doesn't know that he's going to be contending with Blink Stalkers. He doesn't know that we have a Templar Archives on the way for Archons, for Storm. So I do think that there is a place here for this Spire, but Nice is going to hit first, and Mutas aren't going to be the best unit to make use of here defensively. Here we go. Nice is pushing out with his main army. What do we have? We have 3 Colossus, 3 Disruptors, a Phoenix, and a bunch of Sentries. And here we go. The surround is real. The Lings are diving on forward. The Novas are not going to find any connections. Oh my god, the Lings are getting on top of everything, and MeomaikA has done it. He's swallowing up the entire army. GG gets called. And MeomaikA takes game number 1. GG. God, that was so on a knife's edge. That was so stressful. Meo, he does it. That's the thing. Meo, he prefers working on low drone counts. That's just his style of play, and it's so risky because the reality is that if Nice hadn't pushed out then and there, if he hadn't exposed his army out in the center of the map like that, and if he had been more defensive, then MeomaikA would have been stuck with like a pretty subpar army. We were pointing out the rest of the tech, right? The Templar Archives just finished. Which means we have access to Archons, we have access to Storm. Nice pushed out before he could actually make use of that. So maybe a little bit too aggressive from Nice, considering the opponent he's playing against. GG. GG, well played. Oof. And with that, MeomaikA has a lead in this series, and we're going to be diving into game number 2. Now, is this game number 2? Hopefully. Was that game 1? I don't know. We're here to find out, Papi. Ay. Going on in. Thankfully, the players have not changed their colors, but they changed their position. Hold on. There we go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gressfarm, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player, the last king of the sea. It is MeomaikA. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Protoss representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Nice. I'm gonna need a moment to fix up the names again. Bam. Okay, there we go. There's Nice. And there is bam, MeomaikA. Beautiful. As Meo, oh my god! While I was changing his name, Meo went for a hatch first. He's crazy. I was talking about how like pull firsts are very standard, very normal for MeomaikA. Here, he's going for a hatch gas pull, a very standard opener. I was quickly checking to see if he went for a 15 hatch. He did not. But yeah, you love to see it. MeomaikA actually going for an economic opener. Is he feeling okay? Is he does he have a fever? Is he unwell? I'm concerned for Meo, Papi. I'm concerned. As we're getting into this across the map, we do see a gate expander from Nice, so nothing too crazy, just a very economic opener from our Protoss player as well. Oh. And we'll see what MeomaikA has in store for us. Based on this opener, I mean, we'll keep an eye out for a fast Evo chamber. We saw last game he tried to do the timing with +1 melee. Wasn't too successful with it. It was a little bit later on where he was active with his Hydras as well, when he was able to get a snipe and get a kill on that third base. But being aggressive on Gressfarm is going to be a little bit more difficult. The advantage of altitude, as we kind of saw in that last game, is that because it's so large, it's so much easier to take fights in the center of the map because it's so wide open. Likewise, the bases are very spread out and very exposed as well. I can't say the same about Gressfarm. Gressfarm, the bases are closer together, they're more condensed, they're more consolidated, and that gives like a much more, or it gives the defender a greater advantage on Gressfarm. I do think Nice will have an easier time holding on, but we'll see how this does unfold. As once again, Nice is going for a Stargate opener. We'll see if he goes for a Void Ray again or for an Oracle first. Meanwhile, MeomaikA, nothing too crazy other than the fact that he's continuing to mine gas. So typically in this matchup, when you get 100 gas for Ling speed, you pull out. You pull out because, you know, it's not really too impactful to get into earlier tech or tech too quickly. We can see he's staying on gas. We're going for a faster Evo chamber. This could also be for a fast lair as well, once this Adept does get shut down. This Evo chamber should be for +1 melee, but again, with this much gas, we should be taking up in a different direction as well. I'm feeling lair just because I know that MeomaikA, he loves his Hydras. It's all about the Hydras part. There we go, there's +1 melee on the way. Now, this +1 melee isn't going to be as fast as game 1, so again, we're not going to be rushing into like a mass amount of Lings and flooding across the map. This is just a great upgrade to get early on just because of the +2 power spike. +2 melee is massive here in ZvP. It does mean that Banelings can one-shot probes, and as you saw earlier as well, the Lings could also wreak havoc in mineral lines and against armies as well. There's that layer on the way. We're taking a second gas. We should be working on a third gas soon if we want to go into Hydras. Otherwise, I'm curious. I'm curious what we're going to be taking into. Meanwhile, Oracle shows up to the third base, but there's no droning. MeomaikA is actually pretty undersaturated. He doesn't have a lot of drones right now. There's that third gas, so this is for Hydras. Meanwhile, the reason why we're undersaturated is because we have 18 Lings on the way. That's a lot of Lings. A lot of Lings. Meanwhile, likewise, Nice's third base is actually pretty delayed. Oh, so these Lings are looking to deny that third base. Adepts are moving out across the map, but they're going to run into a massive amount of Lings. Actually, they're going to avoid them. Yeah, the Lings, they don't care about the Adepts. They're going for the third base. They're going to get us around. Meanwhile, the Oracles dip in. Have they spotted the Spire? Because this is not a Hydra Den. We're going for Mutas. Very interesting here from MeomaikA. Pylon is going to fall. Meanwhile, the Adepts make it across the map. Drones are going down. Because the Lings are across the map, they just weren't in position to defend against the Adepts. 5 drones already fall, and the Spire has been spotted. Diving into the main base, the Queen is looking very exposed. The Queen will fall. Oh, and this is disastrous for MeomaikA. He has 2 spores in the main, which will help, but Meo did not cancel the third base across the map, and he lost 7 drones and some Queens, and he got scouted. This is worst case scenario for MeomaikA. He still has a lot of Lings on the ground, so he still desperately needs to deny the space, but the Oracles are racing back home. Sentries have arrived, force fields are thrown down. We do have +1 melee, we get a surround on the Nexus, but MeomaikA cannot commit. Ay. Oh, never mind, he does go for it, he's gonna get the kill. He does get the Nexus in the end. And can he get more, actually? We have a Gateway Explosion in the main base. We force a recall to preserve whatever we can. MeomaikA making some magic happen, and we're not actually making Mutas. We're going Corruptor. Again, I like this. So, a lot of this is what MeomaikA does. He knows he got the Spire scouted. He knows that his opponent knows about the potential Mutas. So, why make Mutas? We already have Phoenixes in production, right? Like, right now, Nice is hyper fixated on the Mutas that are going to be coming out. So, don't make Mutas. Make Corruptors instead. Kill the Phoenixes, kill the Oracles. As the Oracles are being pushed back, Corruptors have revealed themselves. Now, they reveal themselves really early on. Because of this, we shouldn't be making any more Phoenixes. Phoenixes are not what you want against Corruptors at all. MeomaikA doing a great job at containing Nice to 2 bases. Likewise, MeomaikA saturates his own third. He's been having a hard time like maintaining saturation, but you know it's there nonetheless. Thankfully for Meo, the Oracles don't head towards the third base. Do we only have 2 Queens? We do. We only have 2 Queens, so we don't have a third Queen to inject. So we're lacking some larva, but we are just sending Lings across the map once again. Mutas are now on the way. I love it. It makes sense, right? Like, because the Corruptors reveal themselves, we stop Phoenix production because we don't want Phoenixes against Corruptors. And with the Corruptors now, like, maintaining map control and air superiority, then you go into mutas. There's the method behind the madness. As the Lings are trying to push on forward, the Corruptor's doing a good job at just harassing and applying pressure here at the front wall. But we got a lot of Blink Stalkers. That's a lot of Stalkers available. What can support them though? What can support them against the mass Ling? Because Lings do fare well against Stalkers. Oracles rock up to that third base location, but it is fully saturated. The Queens are in position, the Corruptors as well. Oracles are forced back. Did he see the mutas? I don't think he's seen the mutas yet. Until now. Up. Okay, now the mutas have been spotted. There we go. Phoenixes are now in production. Oh, the first Nova once again does miss. You can see Nice just being forced back, contained to his two bases. Shield batteries are doing what they can. This is a good choke point to make use of as well. Nice is holding. Very, very aggressive blink from Nice. Is able to once again maintain control of his side of the map. The shield battery putting in a lot of work. Nice does hold. And once these shield batteries finish up, I do think that he's going to be able to hold on to that third base. Meanwhile, MeomaikA hasn't droned in quite some time. He's taking additional gases, making more mutas. We still have 3 Corruptors to help, like, support and help buffer for those mutas. MeomaikA going for a 4th base as we speak. And what is Nice working with right now? Still just Mass Blink Stalker Phoenix. I'll be honest, I really want an Archon. that's all I want out of Nice, Papi. It'd be amazing. Just like the last game as well, to be fair. Oh god, as MeomaikA is going to be committing to this fight, the Blinks are looking pretty good out of Nice. Overcharge once again being popped, and this will force MeomaikA back. Another Corruptor goes down. Nice didn't lose any workers there. Slowly building up that Phoenix count, working on more Stalkers. I think the Disruptor earlier did die. It did go down. No longer on the field. Phoenix is even catching a couple of these Overlords as well. MeomaikA can't really dance with these Phoenixes right now. He doesn't have a high Corruptor count like he once did. Oh, there's a lot of Overlords. This could supply block Mia, but here we go. He comes in from behind. He gets one of the Phoenixes. Gets an Oracle as well. God, there are just so many mutas. We are up to 17 mutas. About to be 20. Oh my god. Nice. Being very adventurous, and he's going to be punished for it. Oh my god. Barely keeps those Phoenixes alive. Did I speak too soon? No, he does keep it alive. And here we go. Once again, MeomaikA does dive on forward. We have the overcharge. The Phoenixes are holding on. They will all eventually go down. This is not an efficient trade from MeomaikA. Nice, reducing the surface area, using the terrain, sorry, the SimCity to his advantage. Fought pretty well there. MeomaikA is so stubborn with this. He's been essentially 3-base all in this entire time, still only on 50 workers. He's going to get us around on these Zealots at least. Zealots are going to go down. But these Stalkers are just providing so much DPS in the back line. We don't have an overcharge. Up! Is MeomaikA breaking through? It looks like he barely is. He's barely breaking on through. The Stalkers are trying to survive. Oh god. The Lings, they just annihilate the Mineral Lion. And it looks like MeomaikA has done it. Oh my god. Has he? He takes control of the 3rd base at least. Yeah, and there's barely anything left. Like, Stalker Phoenix is really not what we needed. We needed more splash damage. Archon, Storm would have been amazing. We saw the Lings just taking control of the ground. Once again, 3rd base is going to be going down. Nice, doesn't have enough. GG gets called, and MeomaikA will take the game. GG. Oh my god. MeomaikA, he's so tenacious. Like, he never gives up. Both games, he never droned up past 60. Never, which is technically less than 3 base saturation, actually. 3 base saturation is 66 drones. It's always hovering around 50. Just pure aggression, pure Ling Hydra, Ling Muta. Oh my god. GG. Upgrade advantage 2 as well, I guess. I mean, he did have +2 on both of his units. But I would say that it comes down to the composition of Nice. Like, he was taking good fights in a way. Like, he was always fighting with the shield batteries, always reducing the surface area on his units, of course. So I do think his engagements made sense. But if you remember, he teched up into a robotics bay. He had a bay, he had a disruptor. So he was like taking in a bit of a different direction, which is more ideal against a ground-based army, whether it's like Ling Hydra or Ling Roach. Yeah, in the end, Nice did become overcome there, and MeomaikA is gonna take the series. GG. Catch you in the chat. Yeah, replay cost, Pez. Replay cost. Good morning, Kipsteer. Good morning. Hatch first by mistake. True. But this is what I was concerned about. So I mentioned it earlier. For the early rounds of this tournament, because it is a replay cost. For the early rounds, I don't have the match order. For these replays. So, alas, unfortunately, there is one game left in this series. It means that we did end up watching these a little bit out of order. So there's still one game left between these two players. As you can imagine, kind of know how this is going to go, because we already saw MeomaikA win 2 games. But I still want to watch it, still want to bear witness. Again, when it comes to the early rounds, this can happen. For these best of 3s, it's very possible that we may watch these out of order. The only way around this would have been if I had watched these ahead of time, or if I had someone vet them ahead of time as well. So I do apologize for that, But we have one more game here. It's going to be on Royal Blood. I think watch the last 4 minutes. I see. Do I have the players in the right position? I do, thank God. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player representing Team Gosu, the last King of the Sea. It is MeomaikA. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Nice. This is the 3rd game that they had. I guess technically this would have been game 1 or maybe game 2. Again, it's unfortunate that that we have to watch them a little bit out of order, but what can we do, Papi? What can we do? Aye. We're getting into this. And MeomaikA is going for a pool first. Okay, there we go. I feel, you know what? My guess is that Muta game that we saw was probably the ace match, and in the ace match, that's when he mixed things up, and that's when he went for a hatch first instead. But here we do see MeomaikA going for a pool first opener. More of what we expect to see. More of what we expect to see out of MeomaikA. Does make plenty of more sense. Oh. And Nice gets here well ahead of time. Is going to be pylon blocking. Is going to be forcing MeomaikA to take the unnatural natural instead. So far, a good start from Nice. Is going to be going across the map. Is going to be confirming, of course, the pool first. And Nice should be reacting back at home. Ooh, okay. So earlier on Gress, we saw Nice go for a gate expand. Here he's going for a gate cyber expand. So he's prioritizing his wall, making sure that he's fully prepared here back at home. And specifically on Royal Blood, it only takes 2 buildings to wall off, like 2 buildings and of course a unit. So Nice should be safe and sound against these Lings. Interesting, the Lings actually, they ignore the probe and they're going across the map instead. An interesting choice here from MeomaikA. The likelihood of these Lings doing damage is quite low. I'm pretty sure that with a Chrono, this Adept is going to make it out in the end. Nice, he does go for the full wall off as well, just in case. As the Lings do turn back around. Okay. Of course, once MeomaikA sees the setup, sees the wall, he understands that the Lings aren't going to do any damage, so he does pull back. does pull back in time. And we do see Mio just taking a more defensive position here. Queens are on the way. That's a decent amount. MeomaikA doesn't usually make this many queens for no reason. Lings are on the way. We're still mining gas. I'm curious what this gas is going to be for, as the Adept does make it into the main base. Oh, he's going to be getting a couple of drone kills. Say a couple. So far, really good control out of MeomaikA. But there we go. One drone does go down. As MeomaikA reclaims control of his main base. We have a decent amount of Lings already on the field. With all this gas, we could go for a faster lair. We actually let the spores finish. I guess we're getting ready for the would-be oracles. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what MeomaikA's plan is, because he made a lot of Lings. Did make a lot of Lings, and with them, he can contain his opponent, I guess, but busting into the natural is going to be almost impossible, especially with the shield battery. Good. Lings have arrived. Shield battery is going to hold on. MeomaikA is forced back. It is a Stargate opener, of course. Oracle on the way from Nice. MeomaikA is just saturating his natural. There we go. There's that fast lair. Are we feeling Anitis? That's kind of what's on my mind right now, but we'll see. We'll see. Just because of that additional queen. It's something that MeomaikA doesn't often do. There we go. We do have the stasis trap. Does catch two of those drones. Oracle dips in towards the main base and does see the morphing in lair. Nice does know. Back at home, we're staying on 2 bases. We're going for 2 more gateways and a robo. Nice also confirms the lack of 3rd base, so he's getting ready for a 2-base all-in. Meanwhile, we still only have 1 gas geyser for MeomaikA. His overlords, or he doesn't have overlords in position. I'm curious. And he throws down a roach warren. Okay. Oof. And as he throws it down, we have 6 more drones going down in the main base. These oracles doing an insane amount of damage already. Meanwhile, Nice is taking up into a robotic spade. This will be for either disruptors or colossi. And against a roach heavy army, this is going to work well for Nice. It looks like he's trying to set up for a 3rd base as well. But what is this lair for? I guess it's just for roach speed? Yeah, there we go. Roach speed is on the way. MeomaikA cutting workers pretty early on here. We only have 38 drones, not even 2-base saturation. And we are just pumping out Lings and roaches. Let's go, Papi, let's go. Oracles, they dive into the main base. They already got 6 drones earlier. Now they get the queen. They're going to get even more drones in the main as well. The lack of queens is really hurting MeomaikA, and Nice is just taking full advantage of that. I mean, to be fair, we also saw that on Gresvan as well. The Oracle is just doing an insane amount of economic damage across the map. 9 drones go down. Lings go for a counterattack, and we do see that Nice has enough here to defend. We don't have +1 melee this time. We have vanilla Lings. And MeomaikA is forced all in. He's not droning at all. He's staying on 29 drones, and he's going to be sending everything across the map. We can see Nice is getting ready at his 3rd base. His natural is a little bit more exposed. He only has a single shield battery at his natural, so that could be something that MeomaikA could try and take advantage of. First Colossus is already out. We have a Disruptor on the way as well. MeomaikA trying to force the army out of position, trying to force it to fight out in the open, but it's not going to be enough. GG gets called. And Nice does take the game on Royal Blood, and yeah. So in the end, he did force the ace match. GG. GG. So again, a little bit out of order, which is a shame. But regardless, congratulations to MeomaikA for taking the series in the end and advancing on into the next round, where he moved on to face a very different opponent. He moved on to face Dark. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. We have a ZvZ before us, and obviously Dark is coming in as the favorite, but I do want to follow MeomaikA. I do want to cover as much of him as I can. Of course, he's from our region, so gotta represent.